welcome back to Disco Elysium.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our...
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. Golden grey in the noonlight. The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Aranye, the old world.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. Just business, but bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Orionese lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene. It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's doing County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. It is. Many people lost their jobs, not just C-suite, ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite.
I knew he was dead, before he fell down on top of me. No, I want to. Let's get this done.
It's okay. Tell us as much as you're comfortable with.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer. Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being. This tactful approach will rob you of the glory. But hey, all I care about is angles and timetables. The loss is yours.
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on, his armor too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do, make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while, that we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
When he was shot? I may have.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth, idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept...
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That isn't... Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call then? She did, of course.
Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tit.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. She nods, silently. She does. He's thinking, or should we arrest her? She's a flight. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her. Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Take it easy. Start at the top, see?
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people...
Okay. Thank you. I did. What is this? I called your desk, or there was an older woman on the other end.
That is the... Anyone could know that, sire.
What time did you make...
Thursday night. It was...
It checks out.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight. She slowly lights another. You are. This is not the end of this. This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot as the man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in from the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. 72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why the lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin, beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nest if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Oh, don't be so modest. We're looking at several months worth of damage here. Kind of a miracle you're still up and at it, to be honest.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
There's something about this guy that matches. He might be wearing a disguise. There's something that binds you to him. Some kind of an outfit, maybe. A uniform. Yes, nurses. Why not?
Why, yes. Yes, I am a male nurse. How could you tell? No, not really. Not really at all. Now please go sort this hanging out, all right? Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click. It's not happening though. Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station?
Oh, really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? You don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence.
It's you again. What is it? Why? Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under...
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have...
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit.
Because she was here.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her...
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment.
Could this complex operation be the one Joyce asked you to look into? Probably, though they'll never open...
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically...
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, 72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. And what they say doesn't sound...
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, And they don't put her on the roof either. It's just mambo jumbo. He hasn't got shit.
Oh. People say
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop. Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. Oh,
that's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Footprints. Recent.
The tracks were recent, but not worn down in the right foot like Ruby's. It's best to omit this pesky little polemic for now. Too confusing.
That close, huh? How fortunate. Good news is, I'm still listening. I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. That's wall mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby. Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
He makes a gruff gesture for you to continue.
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof, but a route does not put that.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not, just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
You lost your gun?
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? Of course not. And Ruby didn't use you.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it.
this was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info candidly.
Look, fucko. Ruby and I are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had.
Yeah, everyone knows Glenn loves guns.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's a little secretive, isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
Nah, this kind of heat is not easy to come by. It took us some time to get gunned up.
Still, he's thinking about it now. And he knows gunning up has nothing to do with this.
I don't knock up. Why don't you?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby went.
Phase 3, motive. The last component.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort?
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I...
Time for a logics demonstration.
I didn't do it.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
Fuck you, man.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her?
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good. Silence. The old man in the... A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on it.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why? She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. No, you, as in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. It seems you have that effect, especially on women.
Right. That's the second one now who's trying to flee.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus, this called Pete. But she was too scared. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the...
Where have you looked for her?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there. Sure, there's some shithouses there, a cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. You know, I don't usually do this. I just measure things, but...
No, we're good.
Why not? You could turn this thing into an actual police force. Afraid you would actually have to.
Rich boy law is a sham. It only works for the Wild Pines, lady. So keep your lab and watch your ass out there. The coast is a dangerous place for lawmen, especially Mr. Can Opener here.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting. This orange machine is dead still. The ice squeaks. This orange machine is dead still. The ice squeaks beneath the pry bar. You could swear you succeeded. You see the pry bar's metal handle bend.
Yeah, well, that's a good pry bar. I'm not criticizing it, but I have no idea, officer.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough. Then we will know what's in. An old East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commerce. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now. Stronger, healthier. All right, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your part. There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her. A strange metallic taste fills your mouth. There's the static again.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
It's you. My God, I didn't think I would hear.
Wait, is she...
Michelle, just please. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Is this some kind of joke? The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but your hands are getting cold and your breathing becomes visible, forming small silvery puffs in the air.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you. She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording. The phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall.
For 300 years I have been here, volatile and luminous, made of sodium and rain. If you want me, you can find me on the beach. Dans un bal.
So, It was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes. It took some convincing, but
The lieutenant leans in to listen, notebook in hand.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's Ellis Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the Eastbrand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol. It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
None, officer. Sorry.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
A name. This is very good. Ellis Kortenaer.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. Your arms reach out and your eyes close as his face, his cheeks. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits Right in there, a tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both, the basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn apart his reptilian. This man will never sleep again. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his... Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him. Your fingers reach toward his skull, his sharp, serrated material. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush. You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just... The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove, with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood, up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smatter.
A non-caliber rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. No, you deserve it. We can log it later. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it. I had my doubts. There were no signs of a struggle on his hands. No claw marks on his neck. But still.
His brow furrows, while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us.
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling and Rise should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day. Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
All right. There go those beautiful enamel boots. May they rest in processing. Oh well, in another lifetime.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
This is not the cleanest bathtub. That soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bobbing up and down along your flanks. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub. But they're not even really thoughts, just assorted sensations. None of them acute enough to focus on. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. What are you doing? You're not some fat fish in a fucking aquarium. You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature. The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely covered in steam anymore. It's your face in the mirror, adorned with the expression.
Yes? What is it? Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask? The sooner you figure this hanging out, the sooner everyone can go home. It means I'm a patrol officer, sir. I don't...
Don't say anything, Judith.
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
I just want to do my job, that's all.
Something about the man with sunglasses and you, the energy between you two, is making her uncomfortable.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah, yes. Phasmatodia. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence, it's named the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering it with us.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciates the creature's name.
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eye.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Centuries. Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is. Morel can explain it all much better.
I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
Can I help you?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Why? Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? It's just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? It's a wall. Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Just an ordinary. Yeah. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. Yeah. What? Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Why? Just an ordinary wall. Yeah. Just an ordinary wall. Because you see it, finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage. Oh, wall father. Absolutely. Now you just need the material. Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush and paint. Talk to her. Yes, great thinking. Go talk to her.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? What for? Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience. You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give up.
You don't have the skills to execute something like this in practice. But, oh boy, the idea's going to blow. She squints her eyes.
On fire. I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that. I like your idea. Should have thought of it myself. Then get your brush from fucking art.
Oops, my apologies. I guess I was trying too hard. You're a police officer and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her? Maybe try...
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk.
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise...
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Ease into it. Don't go too far.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Ease into it.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Ease into it.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Ease into it.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Ease into it.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of brown and gold. It's hard to say. His gaze, the road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways or bridges, ending suddenly in dead ends, or ramping up or down highways. Above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised motorway, and then the never-ending sprawl of Forburg, high above buildings, new and old, to the old south, to the farthest outskirts of Revachol, through the checkered fields of farmland, upstream to the river Esperance, past Montmartin. You cannot see. It's out of the city. Up ahead, the mist blocks all sight. A gale blows across your cheeks. It is...
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Man, I don't know what to say. Not much anyone can do. There's no helping in absence, you know. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. Diora of the Seven Seas. It's on the other end of Le Caillou, pretty much, on another island called Laurentide, off mainland. We've got a little place there. Can almost hear my kid laugh when it snows. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios in great detail of living with them. It comforts me. What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
Hunted? By what? An ex-wife?
The pain burns in your chest, radiating. The crown of arteries on fire.
Sinister presence. Wow, that sounds really bad. I hope that doesn't happen to my marriage. Sure, man, if you say so. But look, man, thanks for this. It's good to talk to someone. I know it wasn't easy to ask, so I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let... You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
He eyes you wearily.
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some keep boys. Since you left, I haven't had anyone to...
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into...
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's the Kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little... Sure, I'm sure. He's tried...
No, it's Ruby running this ring, like Titus alluded to. But play along for...
Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about...
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Nothing. A crowd, you know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
There you go. A witness with corroborating evidence. It's Ruby.
I don't know. I told you. I don't know her name. All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? All right. Very cool. Let's cap this off with a purchase. A pair of funky sunglasses.
The speakers below are a pair of Faun Ultra.
Those sneakers.
Only that Faun Ultra. We're the future. These once respectable speakers, a small heat emboss on the veneer.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. No, don't pity them, officer. These are...
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes,
You find the box smells like cat piss.
economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed. A man who knows his style. Much respect.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cubs don't run Rivachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't... I ain't saying...
Isn't saying nothing saying something? Or did I just blow your mind?
What? How about you fuck off? I ain't saying anything.
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwit. You don't scare me. You cubs don't. I ain't...
Isn't saying nothing saying something? Or did I just blow your mind?
What? If you don't know, I ain't telling you. Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to...
The main...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off?
The main thing is to not overdo it. Even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to...
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
The main thing...
Looking for something, Hunt?
Men like this only respect two things. Strength and fear. Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is. I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days. Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me the fuck alone, okay?
This screen found 8. This is the one he pointed to. This screen found the glass on the side windows. Its posters cover the small windows in the back. The door is locked. There's no picking this with a key. Or, good thing you have one. Pry bar in hand. You take a goddamn maggot. Drag your... Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to... This screen found A to Z. The glass posters cover the door. There's no pick with a key. Good thing you have one. This screen found A to Z. Contemporary. Pry bar in. This screen found A to Z. Contemporary. Pry bar. This screen found A to Z. Pry bar in hand. This screen found A to Z. Contemporary. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin. The window shatters, and droplets of the smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside, there's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large... This large map displays the elevated toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the massive brown and red roofs. That this municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-wind. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital. The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few these service tunnels were probably... Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to the cluttered cabin of the abandoned... If only Lieutenant Kitsuragi were here to... You stuff the maps back under the seat cover. Better not to leave traces of you being here yet. The movie stars look silent. These are movie posters. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amber. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume. Probably the actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for... She wasted away in a drug den called The Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world, and the actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. The peculiar frequency tableau indicates that at least 128. It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them. Unclear. For contacting an entire fleet of lorries, for example. Not without the dial key. No, the smell of 1,000 cigarettes. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A sandpaper adds extra grip, matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady, she is, yes. You should talk to Titus about it. Now you have some The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. But there's something. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Peripherique. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hand. It's an issue of. It looks like these formulas. Pulling the tool slice back. You close the rusty oak.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her? Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can. Oh, you know, Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better. Yeah, you too. Be safe, detective.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure, let me have a look. Oh, no. I don't like aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnet.
You have absolutely no idea what a...
Oh, aphotic.
You have absolutely no...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench, your feet. You finally stop picking your nose. Time passes. The sun draws ever closer to the horizon. The sky is a panorama of intense colors. The twiddling barely keeps your hands warm against the frigid wind blowing from the coast. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks.
It is a bestseller for a reason.
The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag, bearing the squish. I know. You should find the gun that shot this bullet. That sounds like something a police detective would. Then find the gun that shot it and the person that gun belongs to. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. You can just about it's quite destroyed. What's interesting about the bullet thus far? A jacketed bullet, which would have been shot from a military grade. Very interesting. You have an unusual military grade bullet in your hand. Now all you need is to find a gun that could fire. The squashed you wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. Little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge. The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about. The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Heimdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, noble Tiribald. Before Man from Heimdall can mount a rest, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City, where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will Man from Heimdall be able to? You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, his arms whirling like windmills, are soaked with the good God, this is some retrograde stuff. When was this shit written? You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Heimdalla tribe. From the village of Heimdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name. Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer? The steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home. A passage reads, "The man from Heimdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Heimdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Heimdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife." Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, "I have grand plans for you, Man from Heimdall." She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. "First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the Man from Heimdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct." In the final pages, Man from Heimdall mounts Galavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyr. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Heimdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it. It's not easy, but your bones are so tired from what feel like weeks of work on the case. You have to try. After what feels like hours, you feel you might be sleeping.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every
Recorded in you forever on Faraday.
on and on it goes for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising. Right.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers,
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words in it.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic...
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a...
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco...
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something, it's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here. An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, you've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome, terrible, it is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be Harry. Your la responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's a whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship. You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself. It must be given by a committee. Only the most even-keeled minds, your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expert. Most likely, your findings will be, once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Yes?
That is where we're going to call it for the night. I need to go to bed. So I thank you all for watching, and we will catch you all next time.